Honey Von Bunny and Berries and Cream with a podcast about smutty trash they read. Sad housewife? Lonely freak? Check it out, fucking fairies, wouldn't that be neat? Charge your phone and your toys full battery. Close your blinds, it's fine, no one has to see. Run yourself a bath, get some candles lit. Lie back, relax, this is APClit.
Okay, so they get caught
Kissing.
Yeah.
He cuts in her. And then he gets put in the dungeons, obviously.
Yeah. Can we talk about...
And
Wait. Can we talk about how it became such a fucking debacle when they got caught? And, like, fucking Ryan kills that one guard for hurting Sabine. And, like, it's just, like, a clusterfuck of just...
Oh yeah,
insanity.
Like glass, right? She gets like cut with glass, and then he just like kills him. And I think that was like a surprise to me.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa, okay. I was like, all right, I guess this is happening. Basten's just like super senses. He's just like got caught, and he's like, oh shit, like I'm fucked, you know? And like she's just like standing there panicking. She's just like, oh no.
I like that this happens. It's another example of him like not being like completely like infallible. He doesn't have this superhuman god power that makes, you know, because any other person would have written it like, oh well, he always knows when people are coming.
Yeah.
Like you can pull one over on him, and that's what happened.
Well,
like he was so
when I was reading
in the moment.
Yeah, when I was reading it and it was starting to rain, I went, oh no, all those people out there are going to start going back into the tents. That was my first thing, where I was just like, oh shit, they're going to absolutely get caught. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, they're definitely getting caught this time. Because you hear the thunder coming in, and I was just like, yeah, everyone's going to go for shelter, and they're going to get caught, and it's going to be a whole thing. And I was like, finish up, quick, let's go. We got to get out of here. Like, I was like panicking.
I was like, they're going to get caught because like she was like making a meal out of this one.
Yeah.
Like they were fucking for a while.
Yeah. There was wax going everywhere on the altar. There was no way. They were making a mess. They were like breaking stuff. It was like a big huzzah, you know? I was just like, this is it. This is happening. I was reading it really like quick.
Yeah,
and I had to like,
was about to happen.
I had to go back and read it because I was just like, I read that way too fast, and like I was panicking.
So he gets caught, and he was like, well, it's part of it. It's conflicting feelings because like for Ryan, he's like, I love this man. Like he's like a brother. He's like the only person who I trust, and he broke my trust. And he's like, you know, why couldn't you have done this privately?
Yeah.
Because if you'd done it privately, I could have just like, it could have just been like a punishment.
Yeah.
You could have been banished, but now we have to make a spectacle out of this because everyone's gonna make a spectacle out of it.
Imagine being cucked in front of your whole kingdom. God.
Yeah, and then he has to do something.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like this happens to him, his betrothed and his best friend, and then the whole kingdom is like, do it.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah.
Cuck. Everyone like wants it.
Everyone's like shipping Basten and Sabine. Like they're just like, yeah.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if somebody cheated on you and then everyone was like, yes, queen?
Yeah, because like everyone hates this family, and they're just like, yeah, let's fucking go, the forbidden lovers. And they're singing ballads about them and making murals of them in the city. It's like, how embarrassing is that for him that he's just like, I've been cucked by the whole city.
Yes, because of course all of these fucking these like fairy porn books, there's always like trials every single time.
Which
I don't think there's like a single one where there isn't like some kind of a trial thing happening.
And they're not even fairies, they just like worship them as like gods. It's like a Greek thing.
It's very formulaic.
Yeah.
It's formulaic.
Yeah, I like it though. But yeah, so they have the whole trial thing, the Everlast. That's what it's called, right? The Everlast?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun read. But before that too, like the prepping for it, because he's like in the dungeon, and I can hear you clicking over there. What are you doing?
I was clicking, okay? I was clicking to disable sounds because somebody was blowing up something and it was irritating me.
Oh.
That's why I wasn't talking, so that it wouldn't come up in the recording, you fucking bitch.
Oh my god. She's so mean to me.
I love you so much. I love you so much, but you work my last nerve. I love you so much. I'm gonna kill you. Continue.
Okay, what was I talking about? I got skittish. I got scared.
Something unimportant.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Everything I say is
so
important. The Everlast is about to happen, and like Ryan's bringing Sabine into his room, and she's never been in there before, and she's kind of like freaking out. She's a bit skittish. She's like, you know, where's my man? What's happening? Like, I thought something was gonna happen in there. I was a little worried.
Yeah. I thought like something sadistic. I thought it was gonna be like sadistic non-con stuff. That's what I was expecting.
I was kind of expecting that
happen.
too. Yeah, I mean, we should have.
I kind of wanted it to happen.
We should have
for the
known.
character.
Yeah, we should have known. It seems like he just doesn't have that in him to be like that. He's not actually.
Yeah, like he's putting on this. He puts on this like facade.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like all of these like perceived bad guys do, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
You just want a bad guy sometimes. Yeah, but it's, you know.
Yeah, I still like him though as a character. I think it works, but at the same time, I'm kind of just like, I've read this.
That's why
before.
I think we need to read non-fairy genre book.
Yeah.
I think next because I do agree with you. I think it worked for his character, but I feel like I keep reading the same thing.
Yeah, there's a Reese in every book. Yeah, it feels like
every book is a Reese.
Yeah. Damn that Sarah J. Maas, that bitch. She's
Sarah J. Maasel.
Yeah, she's done it again. She's brainwashed all of these authors to write the same dude over and over.
No, I have a feel. Like, I think she's just like what popularized.
Yeah.
Like she's like. They were already doing it, but she's the one that's popular, so it's like getting attributed to her.
Yeah.
Kind of like Coco Chanel and like all of the fashion things that have been attributed to her that aren't real, like pajamas and little black dresses.
You lost me. No idea what you're talking about, but
oh, there's like a ton of like fashion things where they're like, oh, Coco Chanel invented this.
Coco did
and
it
was
first.
Like not true. Most of them she did not do first. She was just like the more popular example. So that's why she gets the credit. Oh, we forgot to mention so we know who Sabine is.
Yeah.
She's like the daughter of she's this princess of this like enemy kingdom that wants to go to war. And I love how we're like not really talking about the plot of this book at all. We're like
the plot's really good too, considering like
the plot is so good.
Yeah. We're just woman-brained. We're woman-pilled. That's all it is. Don't worry about it.
We just see a man with a nose that's been broken a few too many times, and that's all we want to talk about.
Yeah, God. Just the manhandling.
Yeah.
He's so perfect. He's so perfect.
They're looking for breaches in their border wall because of like fey creatures keep coming in, and there's no way they're all asleep. Like there's no way that they're
creatures people haven't seen for like 1,000 years too. We didn't even talk.
They were all put to sleep.
We didn't even talk about one of the biggest plot points of the book. It's that fucking Ryan has a fucking fey creature in this basement. And
I was getting to that. So there's reports of these creatures that are fey. They're supposed to be asleep, but all of a sudden people are having reports as like these beasts. So they're the night before they go for this like voyage, Ryan manipulates Basten into admitting that he's kissed
Sabine.
Yeah,
I loved that. I loved for a second he was just like,
things got really weird between them. This is like before they got caught fucking, by the way. Yeah,
because we know how to talk about books, so we're just gonna
we're so good at talking about books. And there's like this like palpable tension going on, and he fully goes into this trip expecting Ryan to like kill him.
Yeah.
It's very like you're gonna tend to the rabbits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's very of mice and men, like taking him out to pasture and being like, let's talk about the life we're gonna have together, and then like shooting him in the back of the fucking head. Like that's what I was expecting to happen.
I was
what he was expecting to happen.
I was expecting it too.
Well, they started like fighting.
Yeah, like
They
with their
started,
shirts
like-
off.
Yeah, they're like, let's do let's spar.
Yeah, just like, and they just start fucking just
In the middle of the woods,
Yeah.
where it's like where it could be very believable to be like, oh, we got attacked and he died.
yeah, this dark woods away from civilization. They're just like, yeah, so let's like, kind of fight it out a little bit, and as guys do, and they're just rolling around in the mud and shit.
And fighting.
Yeah. I
And
love
it starts getting like really heavy, like
it becomes like
choking.
serious. And
Yeah.
Basten's just like, I could kill this guy and I could run away with Sabine. I was just like, yeah, do it. Like when I was reading it, I was again reading really quickly.
I wanted it.
Yeah, I did too. I was kind of like,
I wanted
wow,
it to happen. I wanted toxicity.
how crazy.
And then they discover this like hole in the wall, and then
they
because
fall,
they fell through
they
it.
fell through a hole.
And then they see this huge army and all of these like winged, like these fae creatures that shouldn't be there. And they have a bro moment where they're put in a situation where they're being attacked by one of these creatures. And
The Golden Claw.
yeah, and
Which I was like, how did nobody know that was happening?
well, Ryan was like covering it up.
Yeah, but no. I mean, like nobody in that encampment knew what was happening. Like that felt very unrealistic to me that they infiltrated.
Yeah, it felt unrealistic to me too.
And Ryan's just like, come on, don't be a pussy. And then Basten's like, okay, fine. And they just like go into the encampment, pretending that they're supposed to be there. No disguises.
I thought that they were just like hiding, like the way I pictured it was kind of like a valley where everyone was, and then they were like up high and
Cause like they
farther away.
They go into the encampment and like even like Ryan like bumps into a guy and like pretends like he's supposed to be there and stuff. And I was just like,
yeah, that I don't get.
yeah, I was like,
that
this
I do
is.
not
I
understand.
was just like, this does not feel right, And then they go into that like tent, but it's like a kitchen. But then they find the Golden Claw. It's like maybe.
Yeah, and they're put in this life or death situation where either of them could be like, I could just like leave you right now.
Yeah, and like
I could just leave you right now and nobody would question it, and I could have Sabine.
yeah, and Basten for a second is just like, dude, he's gonna leave me. Like he's gonna let me die here.
Yeah.
Which is
And
really
then he was
funny.
like, haha, bitch, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then they go together, obviously, and save each other. It's very interesting to me that they're kind of like,
Bros.
they're like, they genuinely have this like connection and friendship
Mhm.
and respect and love for each other, even though they love like the same chick.
Mhm.
There's like a Yoko Ono, but they're not like letting her be a Yoko Ono.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing where I'm kind of just like, I don't know, like, would guys really be like this in that kind of situation?
I think dudes are a bit more, I don't think.
So, I mean, like, Basten is, like, obsessive over Sabine,
Yeah, because it's like the first person who's ever been nice to him.
Yeah. What a king. It's so real.
I mean, it's also like believable,
Yeah.
because especially in the kingdom that the Valvers like rule, it's a very, like, he was bum fighting
Mhm.
at 10.
Yeah.
And in brothels and shit, like, of course.
Yeah.
It's like a very scuzzy. Their entire like kingdom is pleasure district, so it's like all prostitution and gambling and fighting,
Mhm.
like whether it be animal fighting or children's fighting for like entertainment.
God, I love that for him. I love he's so obsessed. That makes it so cute.
He's so upset.
Yeah, it's just
And
like,
it's
she's
he's
so
still
nice to
manly.
me. Yeah.
He's still like manly. I don't know how to. He's just. I don't know how to explain it other than he's like the same guy. Like being in love doesn't change him fundamentally.
Yeah.
It just adds.
Yeah, it adds. It does. It adds to him. Here we go. We're talking about him again. Plot.
Yeah, like, oh, plot. I'm so sorry. Our boyfriend.
I know, our boyfriend.
Basten.
Our boyfriend. God, I love him so
Our
much.
boyfriend.
But
we're both boyfriend girls
yeah,
now.
we share a
I'm
book of
gonna
boyfriend.
kiss myself.
I know, God.
YouTube, I'm not joking. I'm going to actually kiss myself.
Not in Minecraft, for real this time.
For real this time. I've got a gun.
Oh shit. Yeah, but like it's so funny because the story's actually good and entertaining, and it has its like little plot holes here and there. But
yes, it does.
Yeah, I
you can't expect everyone to be like completely infallible.
Yeah, it's super hard to write a story, especially to keep.
Yeah, you're an entire. It's too much.
Yeah, but yeah. So they find out there's this whole army, and they go back, and the secret's out that Sabine is actually a princess, and I'm pretty sure that like Ryan killed a bunch of people that found out about it to keep it on the down low, which is really cool. We love a king that kills. That's really awesome. And that's pretty much the plot. And there's also the horse.
Oh, so the thing that we find out, I'm pretty sure we find this out after, is that they have a like legendary Pokemon version of a Fey Beast, which is just a unicorn. Like they call him like the Monosaurus or something, but it's just a unicorn. It's obviously a unicorn. Like, why can't you just call it a unicorn?
I'm looking it up.
Why do you have to call it something?
I'm looking it
like,
up.
It has
a Monosaurus.
horn.
I think it's a
horse and it has a horn.
It's the unicorn constellation. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like.
Yeah, it's a unicorn. They have a unicorn. They have a fire unicorn.
They have a fire unicorn.
Yeah.
And he's very feisty and angry.
Yeah, he's angry.
He's very angry and powerful. And yeah, this is so like with the Monosaurus stuff. When I was reading it, I was like, "Is this just like the bitch that fucking made this book was a horse girl when she was a kid?"
Can I tell you?
Absolutely.
Can I tell you something?
Undeniably.
Can I tell you something?
This is like fucking Spirit, the book.
Can I tell you? When they brought Miss
You were a
down,
horse girl.
no, I was not a horse girl. I was a unicorn girl. But when they brought
Almost as
Miss
bad.
down,
Makes sense now that you're obsessed with fake smut.
I kind of shipped the horses together.
I do too.
I
They're cute.
was having a good
She's
time.
She's like so little and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing right now? Do you see yourself?" She's like, "You're really like, oh, boo fucking who? They're making you a special stable just for you and doing all this shit to take care of you, and you're over here acting a fool,
moaning,
and bitching and moaning, making a fucking mess and being annoying. Oh my, your life is so fucking hard."
It was
she
so cute.
She cooks this man because the horses can talk to each other because they're like
Horses.
like they're like the same. Yeah, they're both horses, so they can like communicate with each other. And she just fucking cooks this fucking. Because we're hearing it through Sabine's end because she can hear them, like she can understand them. And it was very funny.
We love a queen horse.
Of course, she's like reading this fucking like this horse that could annihilate her in a second. Gigantic boner, according to Sabine.
I could not believe I read that and I went, okay, now we're going a little too far. But I was like, I ship these
I
horses.
was like, I don't want to read about. I don't want to read about a horse boner.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm not locked in anymore, but also very cute that the horses like each other. But yeah, the whole reason, like the whole plot of this book is pretty much that Ryan wanted Sabine because she can talk to animals and they have this weapon that can take down armies and has to like kind of like break it so that it follows, orders. And because it's a Fae creature, it's not going to do that because it hates humans, but it also hates Fae. And it keeps calling Sabine a Fae.
Yeah, it keeps calling Sabine a Fae probably because probably because she's Godkissed
Yeah.
and can understand.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I say like legendary Pokemon, because they're talking about this horse, this Montosauros, and being apparently very rare, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't understand how they were able to wrangle, or like if he's so powerful, like, because this fucking horse takes down an army.
Yeah.
Like how they were able to catch it in the first place.
I know, 'cause
that to me was unrealistic.
Yeah, I do remember reading it and being like, how did they get them? Because I know he said that like he lost like a lot of I was about to call them golden saints. That's not what they're called. They're sentinels, the golden sentinels. They lost like quite a few of them throughout like the year, just like dealing with it. So I was like, how did they get it down there? How did they do this?
Yeah, and I was reading them interacting with each other, and I was like, this bitch was like a fucking horse girl. This is like every horse movie where it was a girl who finds a horse that can't be tamed.
Yeah, it was very like cheesy.
Yeah.
I was there for the horse ship and that was it. But I get it. It's a plot point. I can forgive it.
I was just explaining like some of the stuff that like made my eyes roll.
Yeah.
And where the Centennial or whatever, what was it called? The Centennial? Was that? No, that's not what it was called. The Everlast?
Yeah, the Everlast.
The Everlast happens.
Mm-hmm.
It starts, and it's kind of like a, last one standing wins. So
What a fun chapter. I had fun with that. Oh, even before the Everlast, when they all got their little prostitutes too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and she like snuck in to be like,
in as
I'm
one of the
gonna.
whores.
And she's like, I'm gonna try to get my animals to help you, and I'll pin a signal. I'll pin a violet to my, because he always calls her my little violet. I'll pin a violet to my dress.
Yeah.
And if you see the violet, it means that I'm gonna help you. So then they leave, and the day of the tournament comes, and Ryan's father, whose experiments on the Godkissed, made a charm and put it in her. It was like a necklace.
Yeah, it's like a crystal necklace. Yeah.
A crystal necklace that she can't take off by herself.
Yeah.
That blocks her Godkiss, so she wasn't able to. So she wouldn't be able to help.
Yeah, she can't speak to any of the animals
or do anything.
She's pretty much muzzled.
Exactly.
And,
so she's like fucked.
Yeah.
And then he's fucked.
I love that chapter because it's in his POV and he looks up and sees her and he's just like, oh shit, I'm in this alone, because he doesn't see the violet and he's just like, I can do this. And I was like, oh, King, you can do it.
He has a fucking broken hand because like right as he's about to go out, they break his hand.
Yeah, that one.
And he's able to like he was able to fucking take pretty much all these bitches down.
I mean, to be
except
fair,
for the last one.
Yeah, to be fair, they're all fighting amongst themselves. He fought like maybe 3 people. He fought the really big guy that had the plates like attached to him. I think was there like a pirate? They have pirates in there. I don't know why. Reading the word pirate just makes me laugh. I can never take it seriously. I always like picture like a Halloween like costume. Like a party Sisby
that's
pirate.
why when we were reading like the Ever King, I was like rolling my fucking eyes because he was wearing the description of this fucking character was like a fucking Party City pirate Halloween costume, and I was like, this is fucking special.
Yeah, well, I just found out I'm just not into pirates from that,
Really not into it.
But yeah, he like I think he took out like a pirate. He took out the really big guy with the help of the other God-kissed woman.
Yeah, he makes this like truce pact or whatever, an alliance with one of the God-kissed. That's in, because there's 3 God-kissed, him, this lady, and this dude. And they pair up together and they're like, let's take everyone out, and then in the end we'll just go after each other.
Yeah.
And it's just them. And she puts up a wall of sand around both of them. She's like, we're gonna fight, one of us is gonna win, but we're not gonna give them
like the satisfaction of seeing.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. And I was really upset.
I liked her too. Yeah. I liked that. I liked the defiance.
Yeah.
And she's about to deliver like the killing blow. because he's fucking he has a broken hand. There's all this fucking debris. His senses are fucked. I think he had did he have a concussion or something? A hit in the head. He was like fucked.
Yeah.
He was like on the ground and fucked, and he was about to die, and a spider bites her and she dies. Because earlier in the book she was like, spiders scared me because they're not like the other animals, because they don't have language. They communicate through like
a buzzing, like
singing,
a singing, yeah,
like a buzzing singing thing that's like hard to interpret, and that's what she did.
I loved that. I like that concept, and I like that she was able to still do that, like to find some kind of loophole, and it didn't feel like a cop out, because it didn't. Yeah, I liked it. And I was like relieved. I was like, oh, good, because I didn't want him to be the one that did it, because then I
think it was the most entertaining way for that to have played out.
Yeah.
With him winning, because obviously he was gonna win.
Yeah.
We already know this going in, because of course.
Yeah.
Because it's the book, like he's like the main character, he's going to win. But I think the way that she did it was probably the most entertaining and engaging way for it to have gone.
Yeah, I felt like she sat there and she really thought about it. She was like, how can I get the best out of this situation? And that was it. I think that was one of the few options to really make it go like, okay, yeah, this was a good chapter. I think it was probably one of my favorite parts of the book, besides all the the stuff
pornography.
Yeah, the pornography. I forgot where I was going. The Everlast, he win. Oh, and then all the birds show up. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. The plague birds, and they started
because they were dropping, because that's when the army run by her father looking for her come down and then start raining down
oh my god, what is it? Like a
ash.
Yeah, not ash, but like a
something. It was like killing them.
Yeah.
It was like described as like ash,
Yeah.
and then like they just like instantly died when they touched it,
Yeah.
and it didn't affect the animals.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the
people.
animals, affects the people. Pretty much Sabine and Ryan like jump down. Like, yeah, Ryan even like runs over to Basten and it's just like, thank God you got through it. And it's just like, dude, he like fucked your fiance. Like, what he was just so relieved. But jumps down there, Sabine's down there too. Pretty much just like all this shit starts popping off, and like Basten like gets them out of there, and everybody's freaking out, and people are falling from the stands, dying. There's like blood coming out of people's mouths. It's really kind of terrifying.
The drama.
Yeah, it was very dramatic. It just like it went from 0 to 100, then stopped, and then went back to 100 again. And
then of course, because this book is this book, and because main character, there are just things that are you expect to happen. She tames the Monosaurus.
Yeah.
This thing that they said would take 6 months.
Yeah.
She does
at the least.
in like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she
jumps
finds
on
his
his
true
back,
name, which was
figures out his true name by riding him.
Yeah.
Says it, and then all of a sudden, everything's good.
Yeah.
And then takes down this entire fucking army. Everything's fine.
I mean, it wasn't like
Ryan.
I mean, it was kind of like a cop out, but also
it was a cop out for me.
Yeah.
It was like
it wasn't in a way where it was.
I was bored.
I thought it was written fine. It was written in a way where it's like, okay, all this stuff is happening. People are fighting. She's on the horse. Her hands are getting all cut up from his mane. She gets that scar on her cheek. It's like really like a struggle, like she's trying really hard not to like fall off the horse, and it pretty much takes down the whole army, and it has like no issue. It's like it's just like nothing to them, but she's exhausted, and I don't know. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was like the best, but I was still into the chapter. I love a girly that gets a battle scar, so I was really hyped about that. What else happened?
Okay, so this is where the cringe stuff starts to happen.
Yeah.
Ryan was like, I'm gonna become king, because he was going to become king due to like there's a the previous king died, and then he was next in line, according to blood.
Yeah.
Apparently. And they were going to do the official blood testing to make sure
before that too, to interrupt you, the whole thing with the dad and like his
Well, that's what I was about to...
I thought you were going...
That was what I was about to explain.
Okay. Go on.
We find out that his father pulled this fucking little... Thought it would be cute to be like, I'm gonna steal your wife, or I'm gonna steal your girlfriend, make her my wife. I'm gonna steal her from you, and I'm gonna steal the crown from you. Haha, fuck you.
Yeah, some 70-year-old fucking gross old ass scheming.
Yeah, who was caught fucking a prostitute that was dressed like her.
Yeah, ugh, but also...
So we find out like he had a secret scheme all along to steal his fiance and to steal the throne. They work together to kill his father.
Yeah.
And they're about to do the blood test, and then they're like, his grandmother was like, wait, no.
Well, even before that too, I'm not convinced that Ryan didn't look at that paperwork at all.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. I don't understand how he didn't know.
Yeah, as much of a schemer he is and like a deceiver and a liar, you think he would like, dot all of his I's and cross his T's.
He should know, like, not to, as he's a Volvaire. He grew up as a Volvaire, right?
Yeah.
So why does he trust his father?
Yeah, it was a very strange, like, I just it didn't feel convincing. So that was kind of something where I was kind of like, and then it starts going, like, as you were saying, with the grandmother.
I stopped to, like, believe it when it got to the point where he's like, well, why wouldn't I believe? Why would he do such a thing? Why do you think he would do such a thing?
Yeah.
You know he wants your woman.
Yeah.
You know he is a scheming fucking little freak. And like I just don't understand how you don't even for a second think he might betray me.
Yeah. It just felt very unrealistic with like how deceiving, and I think maybe that's just one of the flaws is like we don't really see a lot of the family really. It's mostly Sabine and Basten that we see the most. But
I mean, we see the family.
Yeah,
like they get like she has like dinner with them, and there's like
they're not long-winded conversations though. Like it's just kind of like they jump in.
The description, like the grandmother always being fucking drunk.
Yeah.
And the father like fucking that prostitute and being the first time we meet his father, he's like, well, I have half a mind to take her for myself, trying to force her to use the God kiss. I expected it. Like I expected there to be more scheming to be going on. Even I expected it.
Yeah, I expected.
And so they have to kill his father, so they do. It was pretty uneventful in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like there was like a chapter dedicated to it, and I was like, this could have been an email.
Yeah, it felt very like let's wrap this up and get to like the next plot. It's kind of like where it goes.
I found it to be like kind of uneventful. Like I figured this would be like more of an arc, like it would come to a head.
Yeah.
In a more interesting way, but no, it did not.
It was like after the Everlast, it was kind of like, all right, I have pinpoints I gotta hit real quick, and we gotta wrap this book up.
Yeah, she was like, oh, my editor, the publisher only wanted this many pages, so I have to figure out how to fit all this in the end. So they're about to do the blood test to officially make him the king. And then his grandmother's like, you two, we gotta go. We have to go into this tent, be by ourselves and talk real quick. And then she's like, actually, Basten, you're his real son. And
so
you two were actually switched at birth.
Ugh, I hated that.
Because it was so
special.
But like, actually, we had you switched at birth because if you were raised as a Vouvert, you probably would have died.
Because of the God kiss.
Because
and he'd be obsessed with you.
Because he would have killed you because you had the God kiss, and he would have experimented on you and would have been fucked up, and you would have died. And then we took a servant girl, we stole someone else's baby, and we raised him as a Vouvert. and
I love they made him 2 years.
And you're not related at all.
Yeah, I love they made Basten 2 years younger than he thought he was, which is really funny to me for some reason.
Yeah, so what I originally thought it was going to be was,
oh yeah, is this
I
your
thought
twist?
they were going to be my twist in my head, what I was expecting. Because when Sabine saw them together, she was like, they're like the same gem, but from different parts of the quarry.
Yeah.
That's kind of how she described it. She was like, they're the same, but they're like different.
Yeah.
They're similar, but there's like notable differences. And I was like, okay, they're half brothers.
Yeah.
He's like a secret. I was like, oh, he's like the secret like bastard, like half, like to a prostitute, like half brother. And that's what I assumed it was gonna be.
Yeah.
That was what and then they were like, well then how are we gonna get Sabine out of this marriage contract, and how are we, you know, I feel like she changed it to be more convenient for the plot, but I feel like she was setting it up to be half brother.
Even if, let's say, they were twins, like we changed it up and they're twins and they kind of look similar, they have the same like
fraternal twins. Yeah,
not identical, but they're twins, and one ends up being God-kissed, but like they didn't know it was going to be twins, so just like to play it off like there was only one kid, and then like they hide away the God-kissed one. It's like, okay, I could believe that, you know, there's still like a power struggle there, but then you have the whole plot of like Basten, you know, compromising with him for his blood. That probably wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah, he was like compromising for the blood to get Sabine. That's why I think she changed it to like the switched thing, so that he would have leverage to get Sabine back, because he wasn't, after there's like no reason for him to let Sabine go. Yeah. Really.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be honest, I thought that was extremely romantic, and I was just like, oh my god. She's like, all he wants is her.
If one day someone came up to you and was like, okay, you're going to run a country now, like, would you give it up?
Yeah.
I probably would.
Yeah. It does sound like fun. But yeah, he like gave up everything. He's just like, all I want is to be, and I was just like, oh my god, he's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, he never cared about any of that. I don't see him ever.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a shit. So I mean, it was an obvious.
It's like, whatever.
Yeah, an obvious.
You get what you want, I get what I want. So it was just such a like neat little bow.
Yeah, but also it's a really dumb thing for him to do, because it's like he can't protect her. Like, why would he? I mean, I get his whole plan is like,
it's like, it's up to you to protect her now, and then instantly she gets fucking ganked.
Yeah, but I understood his whole plan. It's like, get that girl that's the God-kissed that can change your appearance, and they'll change their appearance and run away together. It's like, I get that, but also like, how long does that work? How long is that gonna like really work for you guys? Like, I think it was really dumb on his part. He wasn't thinking logically.
Yeah, like he should have he could have pulled a Barolt and then taken the throne, and then been like, okay, well, she's mine now, and then gotten the armies and got the kingdom and all this, but then was like,
How embarrassing would that be on Ryan's end, where it's just like, I'm not even like this bloodline. This dude took my girl and my fucking throne. Like,
and his grandmother is just like, I love you, not him.
Yeah, it's like, damn, what the fuck?
And I was like, Basten, so then what was the point of, so you feel nothing for him?
Yeah.
Okay. For Basten. Like, she doesn't give a shit about Basten at all. Just, because I get it, like, you know.
It's whatever, but
I feel like you have no feelings for the one. She was like, well, you know, you got a better life in the end, because sure, you were bum fighting at 10, but it's probably better than what would have happened to you if you stayed.
Yeah, and it's like,
but also, I feel nothing for you and I don't love you.
Yeah, because it seems like she genuinely loves her son. She was like upset at the funeral.
Well, she does.
And you would
she loves her son, and she loves like Ryan, the grandson.
Yeah. But you would think she would at least be like, oh yeah, I don't know. It just felt kind of weird.
Feel anything.
Yeah, I just was not happy with that twist. As I was reading it, I was just like, oh my god. I was like, here we go. I think
here I go again on my own.
I think what you
Sorry.
came up for with that twist would have been a bit better.
Yeah, it would explain like the disdain that she had.
Mhm.
She was like, I was hoping you would stay away from our family if we
Yeah.
like were mean to you.
And the age difference.
But it should have just been like, you're your bastard son.
Yeah. Because I mean,
They needed
obvious.
the leverage.
Yeah, it's obvious. Like the dad would have been fucking around. Like he seems like a degenerate. It would have made sense logically, but then it doesn't make sense for the blood thing, and that's the whole reason that it was put that way. So
well, then
there's leverage.
They both would have had equal claim to the throne.
Yeah, but he still wouldn't have been able to get Sabine unless he like kills.
Well, he could have. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like. If you're gonna, I was hoping and expecting it to be like, okay, well, they're half brothers, and now they have to fight for the throne. And I was expecting there to be like a fight, and then he would have to kill.
But
his friend.
if you do
and
that,
then
though, it's
get Sabine.
Yeah, but it sullies the whole concept of like their romance because it's like I had to kill my best friend and my brother to be with you.
He would have.
You know?
Yeah, but he's obsessed.
Yeah, but it's not
B,
fun. It's not
B,
safe.
he was willing to betray him in the beginning.
Mhm.
C, they were in the woods and he was contemplating killing him and almost did anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't seem super out of character for him to be like,
But on a writing standpoint, it feels like it may be a risk to do that.
Yeah, but take a risk.
I know. Should have taken a risk.
Have fun.
That would have been kind of fun. I would have felt really bad for Ryan though, because he seems like he kind of got the short end of the stick with a lot of this.
And then the book ends with them the book ends with them like fucking in the woods, and then she's like animals are like covering her and like crawling on her body.
Yeah, like little beetles.
They're attracted to her emotions.
Yeah, there's little.
I would not. He keeps going. He's like turned on by it. And I'm like, ew.
I think she was going for like a biblical kind of like, I don't know, like.
Yeah, but still.
It just doesn't.
Still gross.
Yeah, it doesn't feel very like sexy.
And then all of a sudden, oh, your father woke up the fucking Fae gods and she got kidnapped, and that's just how it ended.
Yeah.
And that's where it ended, and that's where it stopped.
It was very abrupt. I do like that he lost his memory though when that god kind of like flicked his forehead, and he's just like,
he's like, I don't understand, like I don't know who you are, but you're
I'm drawn to you.
I don't understand who you are, but I'm drawn. I love you. I don't know who you are. How do you know my name? I feel like I need to protect you, but I don't understand why.
That got me. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's 'cause so like he just fucking like takes his best friend's girl and then has her for like 0.2 seconds before being forced to forget her and lose her.
That was upsetting, but I loved it because I love the grief.
I can't wait till he like goes crawling back to his friend and being like, haha, hey
dude,
like, remember how I said I was gonna like not gonna like run away and like never bother you again?
Well, he just goes back and he's like, dude, something crazy just happened in the woods. He doesn't have his memory.
Yeah, then he's like, why are you here?
Yeah, Ryan's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you here right now?
It's gonna be an interesting next book.
Yeah, if anything, it'll be entertaining. But go on.
Now, how would you rate this with our rating scale? Because I already fully know where I'm gonna put mine. I know where I'm gonna put it.
What's our rating scale again? Wait, I have to go and look. Let me go look.
You don't have it open already?
No, I don't.
You fucking bitch.
I do not. Okay, our tier list. Oh yeah, we have our pro tag tier list too. I'm excited to do that. Okay. I would say, okay, the second book, I don't know. I have two options here. And just because of how it ended, I want to say Zaddy Please. I want to give it an A tier.
I am on the cusp of what in the obsessive possessive bullshit.
I am too.
And Zaddy Please.
Yeah.
Because,
it would be S tier just from that chapter alone where they got caught.
Yeah.
But then it kind of gets knocked down a bit from the last few chapters. I would say like the last like maybe 5 chapters.
Yeah. I gotta say, it's on the cusp. It's like right. I would say it's more on what in the obsessive possessive bullshit.
Let's think logically about this. Would you say there was
okay? How big are his hands?
Yeah, how big are his hands? They seem pretty big.
Of what in the obsessive possessive bullshit? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't. I have to.
Yeah. But okay, I'm thinking logically about. There are more times I was like yas than I was like
Then nah.
Yeah, it's S tier. Yeah, I would say.
I have to put it there because it just made like his character being manly and a little done fucked up and stuff, and not just immediately turning into a male feminist like every other fucking male character in these fucking books, or suddenly becoming an autistic dude about butt stuff.
Yeah. I have to say Basten and Sabine kind of carried it.
Yes.
It's S. It's an S tier.
Yes.
It's S tier. I love their dynamic. I love everything about them. The plot being fun is just kind of like the icing on top for
made
me.
It better. Yeah. Like I genuinely enjoyed reading this book.
I did too. I enjoyed reading both of them. I would put them both in S tier.
The sex scenes, though, I will say, like, the sex scenes were a little, like...
They're kind of artsy.
Weird.
Some of them are...
Artsy.
Yeah, it's not...
Yeah. I mean, we're reading for the plot anyway.
Yeah,
so.
At this point, we're reading for the plot and just, like, wanting them together.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say they're my favorite couple so far that we've read.
I will say I'm worried that he's gonna get the Cassian/Rysand treatment.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna read like 2 quotes real quick. Boy, do I have to eat fucking dinner. Not dinner. It's fucking noon. I have to eat lunch.
I thought that was
or
the
I'm
quote.
going to die.
I thought that was your. I thought that was your quote. Your excerpt.
Okay. Let me look at the excerpts real quick.
Boy, do I have to eat
I have to
dinner.
show you.
The giggles now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, before I read that.
Oh no.
Bastane's cock until it slips fully inside my pulsing channel.
Yeah, that was channel.
And then inside me as it pumps out his essence.
Yeah, there's a bit to I could enjoy if it was written a little better.
Okay, I looked like a god's damned fool rushing into... Okay, so there's 3 highlighted things that made me think that he's going to become gay.
Oh no. Okay.
I
hit my
look
mic.
like a god's damned fool rushing in to rescue women who have already saved themselves.
Yes.
If Sabine has shown me anything, it's that I need to reevaluate my preconceived notions about what women are capable of.
Yeah, it's like, okay, show us, don't tell us. Just show us, don't tell us. I hate that. I hate it.
She was doing such a good job of like showing us that like these women are like... I really hate the old notion of like old-timey women having like no like autonomy or like no having no amount of power, or just like I hate, even when it comes to like especially like historical like fashion and stuff, people like the way like corsets are described as like these torture devices and women not being able to do anything. It's like working class women have always existed and have always worn corsets, and they would have like all been dead if they had to wear, if corsets were as bad as. That's a tangent for another time, but it's these like frail little flowers that are completely incapable of having any amount of power in any regard, whether that be like socially or physically or yada yada yada. And they just like have these women in this very clearly like past time. It's just, they don't really give a year or anything. It's just like this ambiguous, like you just know it's old-timey. And they're just generally like, they're just powerful women in, they just have very like quiet, soft power, if that makes any sense. Whether that be Sabine's like stepmother who's 2 years older than her, you know, having the respect of the entire place that her husband is in control of. Or all of the respect that Sabine has from the working class of that kingdom because of her defiance. And like the author was already showing us, not telling us,
that, you know, women are powerful in different characters aspects.
Which is fine, which is good, because I enjoyed the way that was portrayed in this, because it wasn't so fucking over my fucking.
It's realistic.
And then of course she had to fucking pat her own tits about that.
Pat her own tits. I like that.
She had to fucking pat her own tits and go out of her way to like congratulate herself.
I didn't like that. It just felt really icky. What's the other one? Last one.
He says reverently, "You swore to me once that no man would tame you, little Violet. I'd go further than that. I'd say no force on this earth could quell the fire in you, not with chains, not with cages, not with iron bars. You're going to bring this world to its knees."
Yeah, I was just like, you're supposed to be a brute. Why are you being so poetic right now?
Yeah, because I think she showed by being able to fucking ride that unicorn and fuck up that entire army by herself. Like, well, it was like a little cliche. Like, she still did it without prompting, really.
Yeah. I wonder if she got a bit skittish from their first book reviews. Because
and then just like made him say like girl bossy shit, even though it seems so out of character and weird.
Yeah, because like the girlies did not like that first book. They were like, this was written for the male gaze. These men are written like men. And
okay, read The Court of Thorns and Roses. Say that you like fae romance novels, and then just read vanilla shit that's all the same, and just shut up.
Yeah, I hated. I don't like that, because I think we had enough evidence that a lot of the women in these books are not, you know, weak. They adapt to their situations properly in their own way. I don't know. I was very disappointed in that. I will say that. But overall, even with that I think that Sabine is probably the best female protagonist we've read about so far, which is saying a lot. Like,
why are you clicking so much?
Hey, I'm not clicking. Oh,
keep going. I was just trying to give you shit.
Oh shit, I was clicking.
Yeah, you were?
Yeah, I was. That scared me. I was like, oh shit, she can hear me clicking around.
Yeah, I fucking could hear you.
God. You could not, bitch.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
Oh my god. How would you I need a minute.
Well, how would I already rated it what in the obsessive possessive bullshit, because I enjoyed it.
Our female protag. How would you put her in the tier list?
What was our tier list for the female protag?
So it's S tier is beautiful nipples princess. A tier is BPD queen. B is moisturized and unbothered. C is hoomps.
Moisturized and unbothered.
Really? I'd give her an S. I'm gonna be honest. Beautiful nipples princess.
I'm between like A and B.
Okay, explain yourself. Give me reasons.
Because I want to leave room for like in case there's someone who straight up is the goat.
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of the goat.
You know? I feel like there's so many aspects of I don't know, there's so many aspects of the two books that make it so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of it's not just her character that makes it's S tier because of all of the characters and all of the interpersonal shit. So like we're judging them individually. You know what I mean? And I just, I think that Basten was definitely our number one boy, beautiful nipples princess.
Yeah, he has beautiful nipples, 100%.
And I think she's more like, I would say she's between A and B for me.
I could see that. I think I really like her. I think she's really cute. I like that she doesn't.
Okay, but how would you like her as much without Basten?
That's a good question.
That's why I put her at like A or B, because I don't know if I would necessarily like her as much without him.
Would I like her if it was changed around and she was with Ryan?
No, like it was, well,
or like if she was like
just,
standalone. I'm trying to think like without anyone or with somebody else. I think the dynamic would change a bit. I did like her when they weren't really together though.
Well, they were still fucking.
Well, even before
that,
like in the beginning when she was really defiant about like having to do this ride.
Yeah, she was good.
I liked her a lot in the very start.
I'll put her. What was A tier again?
BPD queen.
I'll give her BPD queen.
I'll do that too. BPD queen. She's just not really a BPD queen though. She's a lot more level-headed than most of these characters we read about.
Yeah, that's why I was leaning towards moisturized and unbothered.
Yeah. But she's just like, she's so A tier.
She's A tier, certainly.
She's a snaggable little thing. Like, you want to snag her. You want to marry her. She's marriageable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's wifey.
Yeah, she's wifey. Yeah, I like her. I like her a lot. I want to read more girls like her. Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, piss fetish book?
Piss fetish book?
Piss fetish book?
That we still haven't read?
Yeah.
Because we have to try because we got scared.
It's rough.
We tried reading it and we got scared.
Yeah.
There was a whole thing with the sucking on a used condom and that's kind of weird.
See, the worst part is I got farther into the book than you did and it gets way worse. And I was just like,
yeah, that's kind of like that's where I like turned my phone off and then I like rested my phone on my chest. I stared at my drop ceiling and I was just like, is this really where I am at in 25 years of life? Is this really the decision that I've made?
Yeah.
Is like the internet's entertainment really worth my sanity?
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough one. I think it would be one to talk about.
I feel like we have to try.
Yeah.
We have to branch out into different things.
Yeah.
We can't just review the same fairy smut novel.
Yeah. I'll read the same thing over and over again too. That's the problem. So you're right. We'll give it a try. And
we also okay, now why don't you would you like to say APClit for the first time in this episode or would you like to
you know what, you do it. I'm getting tired. I'm hungry. Take us out of here.
I'm Berries and Cream, and that was Bunny. This is also the first time we've introduced ourselves.
We're really good at this.
This was unfortunately, well, actually, no, this is a good book. This was APClit.
Yeah, amazing book. Great book.
Beautiful.
Good, beautiful nipples.
We'll flash our socials.
Yeah.
If you don't know what our socials are by now, you should probably. You're not really that big of a fan.
Yeah, you're not him.
You will never be him.
Yeah, you'll never be him. You're not him.
Beautiful nipples princess.
Beautiful nipples princess.